What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about why we don't use turkey decoys. The truth is we actually do use turkey decoys, just not very often. You'll see us use them when we take youth hunters out. Greg likes to use them a lot while he's bow hunting especially. We have had success with them in the past where we don't write them off completely, but if you guys have been watching our videos for any amount of time, you know that we don't use them very often. So recently I had a hunt with one of our subscribers this last week here in Missouri. His mom actually messaged me and asked if I would take him hunting. So me and my buddy Aaron Neal took him out. His name's Hunter, and we had a really good time. We got on some birds right out of the get-go. It's a property that he has permission to hunt, and this hunt right here is a great example of when decoys can hurt you and when they can help you. So check it out.
Back in Paris, America this morning. Got the boar grizz, Chef Neely with us. Trying to get Mr. Hunter here a bird. Hunter's been seeing 3 longbeards in this pasture that we're in right here. It's Wednesday of the first week of season. You haven't hunted in here yet, have you?
No. This is the first time being here this year. Hopefully they're roosted back here and hopefully they'll work to us.
I'd say there's a pretty good chance. Neely's got the Jake decoy this morning. I don't use them often, but a situation like this, Jake decoy might be real good, especially with 3 longbeards running together. Neely done killed his turkey. He shot his right off a Jake decoy a couple days ago.
Yeah, I did.
He's on that far hillside for sure. But I'm thinking if we drop through and we get in them woods on that other side, he might come up through there.
Yeah.
We got closer to those turkeys that were roosted back here, and we could hear hens in there clucking and cutting. And there's at least 2 or 3 gobblers back there in one wad. They just didn't gobble very much on the roost, but they're getting cranked up now. We're gonna have to make a big loop on them though and get on the same ridge with them. We got a very thick creek bottom in between them and us. So we've got to go up and around and get over there.
Will that work?
Yes.
Feel like summer football practice.
Oh yeah.
Made a big loop around those turkeys. They were gobbling just off the property here. I saw a couple of fresh gobbler tracks in the creek. Neely stuck that Jake decoy out in his field. The birds are several hundred yards away from us on the neighboring property, but all that's in between us and them is just a little tree row. Those turkeys, several of them are out on a field over there. So I'm hoping that they just follow this series of fields around here and they end up in front of us here at some point. We just piled into this old harrow here. It actually is pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
It's like sitting in a recliner, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know if and when they're going to show up here, but there's turkey sign here. Turkeys around. Might just have to wait a little bit and see if they pop out on this field. If this passel of dang crows would shut up over here, we could maybe hear something.
They've been going all morning.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he's in this field. Just listen to these crows go off, and all of a sudden we heard a turkey gobble over here to our hard right. It sounds like he's coming closer. It sounds like he's in this field with us.
Cut you off.
He's
Hammering.
He's hammering, boy.
He got
He's
like
ready.
3-4 times in a row.
I don't know it. He's gonna come right across that top right there. Hopefully he just bulldozes in there to that Jake, but sometimes they won't like that Jake decoy. Yeah. him come, Hunter. Now close but no cigar on that one. That Jake decoy bit us in the butt that time. Sometimes it works good. Neely killed one off of Jake earlier this week. If it's a dominant bird, they'll come straight to him, and they saw 3 gobblers together just a couple of days ago, and that's why we brought the Jake, is because we thought we might be dealing with a trio in here. But that turkey started firing up by him. It sounded like he was by himself coming in, and I was worried about that as much as he was gobbling, and he was just a satellite gobbler that didn't have a hen. And as long as you just have a hen decoy, or if you're just calling with no decoy, you're in pretty good shape. In this instance, he come into about 55, 60 yards and saw that Jake and wasn't gonna come no closer. Hunter could have probably killed him with his gun out that far, but I just wasn't sure. So anytime I ain't sure, it's better to err on the side of caution. Because if you shoot him and you wound him, then you don't get the turkey and you can't hunt him again. Yeah. So headed back to the truck now. Maybe we'll find one along the way. Close though, dang close.
Pretty bummed we weren't able to get Hunter that gobbler. It was a close call. I feel like if we wouldn't have had the Jake decoy out there, it's a good chance that turkey continues on his track towards us and at least gets to 40. The bird ended up staying out there at like 55, 60 yards, and with Hunter's gun, he might have been able to kill him at that distance, but he makes a big like half circle around the Jake decoy, just strutting the whole time. His head gets kind of pale in color as opposed to it being bright when he comes in full strut. He saw that Jake decoy and immediately turned him off. If you watch that real short clip that Neely had from his hunt earlier in the week, he had a longbeard and 2 hens come straight into that decoy, and the longbeard left the hens to come over there and give him a 15-yard shot. And that's been our experience with the Jake decoys especially. They almost work like 50% of the time. It just depends on the turkey. If you get some turkeys that are paired up, that are dominant gobblers, you can visibly see them running off other birds. They have the majority of the hens in the area. They're doing the most gobbling. Those turkeys sometimes can be good candidates for a Jake decoy or Tom decoy. If on the other hand, you just have a lone bird that's off to the side gobbling on his own, like that bird that we just had in this hunt, more often than not, those turkeys are subordinate gobblers. They're not the dominant gobblers, and they come in and see a male turkey decoy of some kind and they are bailing because they've had their butt whipped too many times. So that's the reason why we don't pack decoys very often. We'd rather just call them in. We can direct that sound in different places and use the terrain to hopefully bring gobblers to the call into range, and that technique seems to work on any gobblers, whether it's a dominant gobbler or a subordinate gobbler. It's all about the setup. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Bummed we didn't get the turkey, but you live and learn, and that's why we don't use decoys very often. So see you guys on the next one. If you want to watch more tip videos on calling, you can click right here. If you want to subscribe to the podcast channel, you can click right here. See you guys.